All right, so today I'm gonna be centering, showing you how to center and lift 4.5 pounds. So if you wanna come over here. First, make sure your wheel is dry, your clay is dry, and your hands are dry. If your clay is wet or this is wet, it's gonna make the clay slide off. So we're gonna take our lump of clay, we're gonna try to get it right in the center. All right, so once I try to get it as close as I can, then I'm gonna pre-center. This is gonna help me not struggle as much in the centering part, and it's gonna help attach the clay on there. Once the clay is kind of on there and it doesn't move, I'm gonna take my index finger and I'm gonna put it on the edge of the clay at around like 3 o'clock. And I wanna make sure all of it is sealed. So you don't have to follow it like this, just hold it in one spot and then you could see it's all sealed on there. I'll probably do. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a sponge, add some water to it. With my left hand, I'm gonna press starting from this very bottom part. So this is gonna press against this all the way down here, and try to keep your hands kind of like this. Don't put them this way, because then you're missing all this whole space that you could close. So make sure you don't go this way, they go over. This is if you're right-handed. So I'm gonna put some water, some more water, press all the way from the base. The other side, same thing, you could see where it's touching, right here. I'm gonna squeeze from all the way down there, and I'm gonna go up. Make sure your hands don't dry or else the clay will start to tug on your hands. So I'm gonna squeeze. As I go up, there's less clay up here, so you're gonna have to squeeze less. So you don't wanna do max force here because it'll cause the clay to break. So you'll go up, and I kind of hold my hand this way, and then I just hold it over, and then slowly take your hands off. If you take your hands off slowly, it's gonna get like that. But if you just hold it, it's a little bit less. So the first step, you wanna get to a cone. Then I'm going to take my left thumb, and my nail should be facing out up parallel with the top of the cone. I'm gonna take my right hand, I'm gonna use this part of my hand at a 45-degree angle, and I'm gonna make a soft fist. If you have a lot of clay, it helps to hold a sponge and you kind of have some water and you press down. So I put both of my elbows should be not floating, it should be on my thigh, my elbows, like this. I'm gonna put water and I'm gonna lean forward at this speed. So go controlled, make sure you're breathing, hold, slowly let go. If you didn't get all the, get into the shape, you're gonna go again. Make sure you're pressing with your left hand. So if you don't press with your left hand, you're gonna get a mushroom. So the clay is gonna come out of the sides here because you're not applying pressure. So you want your left hand to be very rigid because you're pushing the clay to this shape of your hand on the outside. So I'm gonna go down. Once you get towards the bottom, your hand was at a 45-degree, like this. Now it's gonna go more flat. And I'll hold my thumb right here. My thumb, I'll hold it like this. Press. It's drying. I'm gonna press again. Hold and slowly let go. All right, so now my clay's centered. I'm gonna take some water, put it on top. I'm gonna take my 2 thumbnails. I'm gonna put it right on top, right in the center. So you start off kind of fast and you kind of start to slow down. At this point, we'll go like that fast. So I'm gonna take my two thumbnails, and they're gonna meet like this. Then I'm gonna press towards the inside at the speed of the wheel. So what I mean at the speed of the wheel is, so I'm counting kind of the revolutions. Let me see if I could mark it with something. So I'm counting each time the kind of wheel is making a turn, and that's the speed that I want to be moving at. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So first what I like to do is make the hole. I hold, I slowly take my fingers out. So the holding and the slowly taking your fingers out is what keeps it in place. If you do it fast, it wants to start getting out of control. So the holding keeps the shape. Take it out slowly. Take some water. Put some water in the hole that we made on top. And then we're gonna take our middle and our ring finger parallel straight. So we want to make an inside that's straight, and we want an opening that this is the floor and these are the walls. We want them straight up. If we get a cone, there's gonna be a lot of clay down here, and it's not gonna allow for us to make a bigger shape, and it's gonna be really heavy at the bottom. So after I make the hole, I'm gonna take my middle and ring finger and I'm gonna press straight down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, slowly take your fingers out. So the whole time my elbows have also been like, not your exact elbow, but right under your elbow, the flat part should be sitting on your thighs. If your elbows are floating, the clay is gonna wanna move you. So you wanna make sure that your elbows are not floating, or it's gonna make it difficult. So I'm gonna take my sponge and I'm gonna check the depth of my hole that I just made. All right, so it's still pretty thick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go a little bit deeper, and then I'm gonna show you how to check the depth. So I went in a little bit more, and then I slowly took my hands out. You wanna make sure this lip doesn't get too sharp. You wanna try to keep it round like a donut, like that. If it gets sharp, sometimes your hands will like tug on it. So I made the hole. I'm gonna take the water out. I'm gonna show you how to check the depth. So I'm gonna take my needle tool. I'm gonna press the needle tool straight in, and right behind it, I'm gonna follow with my index finger. So I'm gonna press in with the wheel. The wheel should be off. Press in, you see that? Behind it, I'm gonna put my index finger, go straight in. As soon as it touches the clay, I'm gonna pull it out there, and that tells me how deep it is. You see that? All right, so now this is telling me I need to go further. I like to do a thicker foot just to make sure it survives. If the foot is too thin, then when you cut it, you're just gonna cut some of it off, and it's like more risky. So it's better to have a deeper foot because you could always take it off in the trim. And then when you open, you're gonna have your fingers straight up like this. This is more clay, so if you're less clay, you don't kind of need to do as much force, but so I'm gonna have my fingers straight like that, and then I'm gonna pull towards myself. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you could use this part of your fingers to press down to keep the opening around. You see that? Mm-hmm. And hold, and slowly take your hands out. So once this is open this way, you see the floor is flat. You don't want it like that. So you want it flat and the walls to be like that. I'm gonna take my sponge and I'm gonna do what's called compressing the bottom. So I'm gonna press down and then move some more of that clay off to the edges. And I'm gonna press it down, move the clay off to the edges, so that way I can move it when I'm lifting. So now, hold, move it straight. And also, if you notice, I keep taking the water out. So that inside I want it dry, because if you keep the clay soaking in there, it gets floppy and then it doesn't want to go up. So I try to keep even the outside kind of clean so that way I can know if it's like not going right. So now I'm gonna make the piece because I need a trim, so I need to make a chuck. So this is how you kind of make a chuck as well. So from this point on, now I'm going to lift the clay up because I want to make it a taller cylinder. So I'm gonna press out with my left hand. I use my middle and my ring finger, and I'm gonna press out. So this is 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So I'm gonna press out with my left hand, 3 o'clock over here. So I'm gonna wet the clay. Again, don't leave the water soaking there. Wet the outside a little bit. So I'm gonna show you 3 different ways. Middle and ring with the sponge, and then I'll show you the other ones right now. So middle and ring are pressing out at so this is my floor right here. You see that? Floor. This is the wall, the other wall. I'm pressing out at this point, straight out this way, and right underneath my sponge is pressing in all the way at the bottom. So it shouldn't be up here, it should be all the way at the bottom. So you want to take that clay and you want to bring it up. If you start up here, the bottom's going to stay like curving, and it keeps like a skirt. So it's going to be like that instead of straight up cylinder. So I'm going to press out with my left hand right at the bottom. I'm going to press in, and then I'm going to go up. So I like to put my left thumb on the back of this, on this bone of my right thumb, and then I'm gonna go up. Press out, in, and then you go at like about this feet. Make sure your clay doesn't dry. Press out, and you hold it. 1, 2, 3. At the top, start to let go of the pressure because there's less clay, and then just hold it right there at the lip. Slowly let off. Take that clay off. And this, since it's more clay, also you could hold with your, like this, with your thumb on the outside, hold the lip, squeeze to keep it round. So what compressing the lip is also what it's also gonna do is when you move up, it's gonna hold that shape. If you haven't compressed the lip, it's gonna start to get wonky. So you wanna get in the habit of always compressing the lip because that's gonna prevent you from messing the lip up. So I'm gonna start at the bottom. Again, make sure you go all the way to the top. Hold, compress the lip. If you keep stopping in one area and you go all the way to the bottom, one of the areas is gonna get thin and it's gonna wanna fall down because you already put too much pressure there. So you want evenness. Don't think about thinness, think about evenness, all right? So if you wanna start at this point, and then I'll go. Hold. So you hold it, and then you wet your hands and don't move away from it fast. So hold it. Yeah, go up. And just
doing the cone again.
Cone again, yep. And then just really pay attention to how fast you're moving your hands away. So once you already did you do the hole already? So you want, if you did the hole already, you can't start doing the cone because that's gonna trap the air.
So then I just have to compress?
Yeah, let me put it.